Welcome to the True North Racing Podcast, your go-to show for all things racing from coast to coast. We're here to chat with your favorite racers and bring you the latest from the world of short track racing. Hosted by Jon Morrison and Brandon Feeney. Get ready for fast cars, big personalities, and all the racing action you can handle. Ready? Green, green, green.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to a brand new episode of the True North Racing Podcast presented by Driving with Haley. I'm your host, Jon Morrison. Joining me for the 2025 and final season of the podcast, we got Brandon Feeney. Brandon, how's it going, buddy? How's your weekend?
We're going pretty good. The mini stocks off of the paint booth. The mod might have all the parts to fix it. And cars on track this weekend.
Right? Holy crap. It's been a long winter. What was it? I think it was Thursday they announced it that they were that Sunset was going to be opening up practice for the weekend. Actually, before we continue on, we're in our Pep's Pro Painting opening segment. We got to thank Pep's Pro Painting, Jay Pepin, for bringing us this segment. I kind of wish you know what? I need to tell him he needs to get a hat, but I think this hat actually represents him pretty well because he does like lacrosse. So,
okay, you need to start making a deal for two hats.
For two hats, yeah.
Yeah, because we'll both wear them.
I suck at dealing for hats.
Yeah, we need to have two, and not two for you, like one for each of us.
Two for you? Buddy, two for me. I sweat through them.
No, not two for you, one for each of us.
Don't worry, when we get into our DJD gear and guest segment presented by DJD Graphics, I am going to go back into my closet behind here and grab my hat. So that is a given once we get through the opening segment. But yeah, it's been a long winter. The weather the past month has been absolutely insane.
Mother Nature has definitely been drunk. It's been like 20 degrees and snowing the next day.
Right? Like this weekend, thankfully, it's been a beautiful weekend. But over at Sunset, cars were on track for the first time this year. The track opened up a practice. Oh, excuse me. You ended up making the trip up.
By accident.
But
yeah.
How was it? Who was on track? What did you see?
We had both Sutcliffe brothers. I kind of seen as soon as I walked in the gate, shaking down the cars. But they apparently made the decision at 10 a.m. to go practice because their normal practice date will be a monster truck show, so they won't have that opportunity to practice that week. We had Keegan Mowat. I'm kind of ruining a bunch of names here. Chris Allard. There was another kid named Purvis, and then there was a 22 junior late model. I can't pronounce his last name. Curtis Burnett, Connor Maltese. There's one other car that had no number, no name. So whoever you were, sorry, but I can't identify you without at least something.
But seeing cars on track, did that continue giving you the itch to get on track this year?
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of wish I didn't take the mini stock for paint yesterday. But you know what? It's Sean's got that thing, and he's got a crazy idea that's totally gonna lay down the way he's thinking, and that car is gonna look really, really good if that comes out the way he's thinking.
That's awesome. It's off to Scarrett's Auto Work race.
Yeah, Scarrett's Auto Works, freaking a little teaser. I don't know if I'm allowed to tell people, but I don't think he watches this podcast anyway.
You know what? No. Let's not try to expose anything.
No. It's not gonna be a design. It's gonna be just the colors. So if anyone knows me, knows everything I drive is gunmetal gray. Right? My truck trailer, my new Elantra, it's all gunmetal gray. That's gonna be one of the colors. So Bam's blue is gonna be the other color. The third color is a surprise to even me. I don't know it yet. He has two rules, and there's no pink and no genitalia. That is the two rules.
I mean, that's all right. At least that's a simple couple rules to follow.
Right? It's got to be basically PG, and I don't like pink on a race car. Don't ask me why. Other people's cars look good. I just don't personally like it.
You know what? To each thy own, though. Right? There's some people who like pink. There's some people who don't, and that's fine.
Now, the messed up thing is if I have a dirt car, it'd probably be pink and yellow.
Yeah.
Because fluorescents belong on the dirt track. They have to pop. They have to be that like neon colors. Oh, John's typing sweet nothings again.
No.
As I'm supposed to carry the podcast. Ooh, what's this? Racing or something.
Squirrel. Um, oh, did you end up watching any of the NASCAR race today by chance or no?
I didn't. I made it back just as Larson did his monstrous burnout for John. Um, he's trying to get that three-peat so hard. And I honestly think him losing the truck race pissed him off for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, I put so I noticed that FanDuel has NASCAR bets now. So Jacqueline and I have been playing a little bit every now and then. But the problem is like we don't want to lay up, but we kind of want to go for someone who may pull off somewhat of an upset. So like before the race even started today, I was very tempted to put like a $5 bet on Carson Hocevar to finish in the top 10. I would have made a little bit of money because he finished 11th, but I wouldn't have won anything. But if he got that one more spot, I would have won a little bit of money.
Yeah, but if you would have bet on me, you would have wrecked lap one, and freaking that's the
But
way life works.
that's the problem with betting on NASCAR, right? Is
That's the problem with betting on anything.
well
It's
anything,
random.
yeah, because like it's you don't know what's gonna happen, and you know what? It's it's
Gamble
actually been fun.
responsibly,
Like,
kids.
but yeah, gamble responsibly. Like I'm only throwing maybe like $5 here, $5 there. I'm not betting big money because I don't have big money.
It's like Jomo Media at the horse racetrack the one day. We're all doing like dollar bets on horses. I don't know what I'm doing,
Wait,
and somehow coming out the
wait.
best.
You know what? Even the problem. You know what my problem is that Jacqueline is very good with the slots. So like she like the one day she's like, oh, before work I ended up making $180. I'm like, why did you even go into work then? You made your money for the day.
Yeah, but then you double your money for the day, and then you get like fancy things. This is how you
Yeah,
afford race cars.
that's it. Yeah, right. Um, but no, it's been fun doing it. You know, Jacqueline and I will look at it, and it's nice when they have sort of like quote unquote parlays for the race. So it's like Denny Hamlin to win, Bubba to finish top five, and then like someone else to finish top 10. When we got those ones are fun. I don't know what the hell that was. Can't tell if
I
that's radar or not.
I don't know what a parlay is, so I'm not going to pretend like I do. And this isn't a betting educational channel. At least
No,
last
no,
time I
this
got betting advice from John, it was wrong.
yeah, don't listen to me because I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I just throw out random things and sometimes it sticks, sometimes it doesn't. Play
It's like
play with
testing
your
a new
gut.
setup on a race car.
Huh?
Like playing with a new setup on the race car. Sometimes it sticks,
Exactly.
sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, but then you move that quarter inch, a bullet to quarter inch, and next thing you know, you're just
Not even that. You could miss the track spot by a quarter inch and all of a sudden
yeah,
it doesn't
that
grip the
too.
same.
Exactly, right?
Weird part
Um,
about today at Sunset is they're actually pulling the rubber off of the track with the tires.
they were what?
They
Sorry?
So the rubber wasn't going down on the track, they were actually pulling the rubber out of the track.
Really, eh?
So you could see where they were running was all kind of smoothing out and like becoming less dark as the day went on.
Hmm.
But so Sunset was on track. APC had their media day and possibly practice at Delaware.
No, they had media day at Oshwegan.
They had media day at Ashwegan for APC.
Yeah.
Huh.
Josh Dottie posted a picture yesterday that he was there.
Oh, I don't know. I don't. Being part of the United Racing Series, I'm not part of the Premier Series. I don't get those kind of invites. Um, and then I seen Jared Fitzpatrick at Toronto Motorsports Park with the
Yep.
that thing looks so badass.
Right? Like I'm very happy. It's been very fun watching that build happen. Just to go from what it was to um a bare chassis. It was I think that was his first late model.
Yeah, I think it
Uh
was his first late model, which then got turned into a Super Sock. So I think it was just basically the center section he used and made new
yeah,
front clips, new rear clips.
but he was going to follow the same guidelines as the late model because he even had the original schematics for the clip and for the front and rear clips so he can make it back to an um original car kind of thing.
Yeah,
You know what?
and
I'm gonna talk to him, see if we can get him on the show to talk to him about it. Um, I think that'd be a great conversation to have.
yeah, because and you know what, he's always a good time to talk to.
Absolutely. But tonight on the show, we are going to be joined by Mike Norris from the Ontario Pro Challenge. I think he's only our second Ontario Pro Challenge driver we've ever had on the show. I'm excited to chat with him. We're going to talk about the series. We're going to talk about his racing career. And luckily, we got quite a few actually, thanks to Tenley Pepin. We got a few fan questions, which is going to be fun. Um, Tenley's a competitor, races against him in the series. It's gonna be a good time. I'm excited. Uh, we have announced a few more race day vlogs. I think there's one. I think I have one left to schedule, and I may
Yeah,
have just skipped over his, but I can't remember. But it's Corey Horn. He sent me his schedule, but I can't remember if we've ever picked a date yet for his race day vlog.
who knows?
I gotta go back later, but we
You
do
got to
have.
message him.
I gotta
Be like,
message him more, yeah. But we do have. We're gonna go hang out with Dryden, with Darren Dryden and Dryden Racing on June 21st at Merrittville Speedway. Um, part of his, I think I really actually enjoy the artwork I designed for that though, because that actually looks pretty sick. And of course, we got to thank his personal photographer, Sebastian SR Photography, for taking these sick shots because like they're phenomenal each and every time. Um, but we're gonna be hanging out with him June 21st, Saturday, June 21st at Merrittville Speedway, and then we're gonna be at back to Sunset Speedway to almost cap off the year with this with Michael Robinson III and the No Lift Motorsports gang up at Sunset Speedway on September 6th. Feeney, we're gonna be hanging out with you on July 26th. That's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a long night for me though.
it'll be a busy
Another
weekend for me too.
Oh yeah, another night, another day we have booked is June 29th with Ty Cavalin TC Racing. It's gonna be nice going back to the beach. I'm gonna be exhausted as all hell. I'm actually gonna be booking off the next day because it's a Sunday, so I kind of need to get back to go to work the next day, but I'm gonna be booking the day off to
It's a long day, like
it's gonna
especially
be
with
a
the
long
driving.
day.
It's
Yeah, it's gonna be there and back. If I can find some amp energy drinks.
I miss those, man.
Man, those were so good.
The best is they were in
Um,
the dollar store.
right? Dude, I used to go to the corner stores. So I back in high school, I used to play volleyball and basketball, but usually on the day for volleyball, we would head over down to the corner store at lunch and I would go pick up like it were like three for $5 or something like that at the corner store. So I would go pick up three, and if we like the furthest game we played, I think was Mount Forest. So it was like an hour and a half from my high school. So I would drink one on the way back to school. Then I would drink another one about a quarter just outside of Guelph, going up to Mount Forest. And then if no one else had needed another one and I had my third one, I pounded back that third one just as we were walking into the school. No, and this is the reason why I do not do that anymore is because I did it a lot in high school. So I do not drink energy drinks anymore. I am getting on the straight and narrow with this stuff. So just putting that out there, do not take that advice. It is not good advice because I felt like crap after.
Yeah, I might have had heart issues caused by energy drinks.
um,
We've all worked overnight shifts. We've all done dumb things.
exactly right. I took two 5 hour energy drinks one time. One was at 2:30 in the morning. So it was me and my other buddy Brandon, we were heading out to Alberta, but I just worked a 12-hour shift. I was just finishing up my five on shift. So five 12-hour shifts in a row. And we were leaving I got off work at 6. I had to wait till 8 a.m. for him to come pick me up, and we were driving to Alberta. And I'm like, I need to stay awake to get him to 400 because I told him like because he's like, oh, we're gonna take the 401 to the 400. I'm like, during rush hour?
Yeah, that's the best plan in Toronto.
No, that's not what we're doing. So I took him a back way that I know. Um, and then I was supposed to fall asleep, but I just took it. So I took one at 2:30 in the morning. Then I took another one at like 7 o'clock in the morning. I didn't go
Well,
to
see,
sleep.
you took the 2:30 in the morning. You were good to 7:30. Says right there, 5 hour energy.
And I wanted to support Clint Boyer, so that's my fault. But yeah, then I didn't go to sleep till I think it was like
Tuesday.
no, we left on a Wednesday morning.
That's why it's a Tuesday.
I didn't fall asleep till like I think it was like after 12 o'clock that day. We were driving. He's like, "Dude, go to sleep." I'm like, I'm not tired. I'm good to go." Like I kind of probably could have stayed up for another 24 hours.
Now, see, the weird part about me is I'm too wired backwards now
Yeah.
that I'll be halfway through an energy drink and I'll fall asleep.
Yeah.
Like I can be drinking an ice cap and fall asleep or a monster or whatever. It's like this is not good.
Yeah.
But
Well, we got Mike Norris waiting in the waiting room. So why don't we get into this week's DJD Gear guest segment presented by DJD Graphics. Joining us this week in our DJD Gear guest segment presented by DJD Graphics. I'm gonna get better at this. I got to practice each and every week. But we got Mike Norris from the Ontario Pro Challenge Series. Mike, how's it going, man?
It's going pretty good. Gonna be a good
Well,
year, I think.
yeah, welcome to the show. We're excited to have you. You you've been competing in the Ontario Pro Challenge for how long now?
Oh,
It
I
feels
think
like it's
this is
been a
my
few years.
so I started in 2017, but we didn't race in 2020, so it's only been like 6 or 7 seasons, full
Okay.
seasons. So yeah.
So obviously your dad is Tim Norris. He's I remember my high school back in the day, they had actually a hero card of him up on the wall in our in our guidance office. I'm not joking.
Yeah.
Actually, it'd be kind of funny if it was still there, but I highly doubt it. Um, but no, you guys you've been around the sport for quite a while, obviously with
Mhm.
your dad. When did you first get involved in racing at like what age? Like how young were you when you started to go to the track?
So started going to the track. Oh, I was like 5 or 6.
Okay.
I remember going up to Selble Beach, Varney. Back then they used to race at Kawartha when Kawartha was still around. I went to all those tracks, and now I wasn't like in the pits the whole time, but it was always in the grandstands watching. That stuff was always super cool for me. So probably like 5 or 6. I didn't really get into it, like start helping my dad, like being a spotter and working on the car and stuff. And so I was like 12 or 13, right around there is when I really started getting into it a lot.
you guys that one year put a whole car together at Motorama too, didn't you?
Yeah, we built a complete car, rolled the chassis in on rollers, and built a complete running and driving car in less than 3 days. We had it running Saturday after late at night. So Sunday was just supposed to be finishing it up, but the show got canceled due to COVID and stuff.
Yeah. That was actually really fun. That was such a cool idea
Hmm.
to see that. I was there for that over with the CVMs, but it was nice to be able to walk by, and then obviously the contingency these guys had, you guys had to come and help and build the car together, put the car
Yeah,
together. You guys were what? I think you guys were welding. You guys were installing parts all weekend.
yeah.
Um,
We
whose
found
car
some.
was that though?
So that actually was the car that I race currently, that blue body that's on that car. So originally my dad bought that car to be a spare for his, for when it was just him racing by himself. He's like, worst case scenario, if I wreck really bad, I got a good deal on it. Let's get this car. And then we can just build it, pick away at it. So if I need one, I can just strap a number on it and go. And then I started getting more involved and was like, hey, can I try? And then he's like, yeah, sure, we'll do this. And so I started driving that car. And then once I started getting faster and faster, he's like, okay, that body is really nice. You got it really well painted and wrapped to his car for that year. And he's like, you're not wrecking that. So we'll hang that. We hung it up on the wall. It was on the wall for, oh, I don't know, 8 years before it
Oh,
ever got put
jeez.
on that car, like just sitting there wrapped, ready to go, just hanging on the wall. Um,
Did you
so
ever
we
wreck
found
your car in that 8 years?
what's that?
Did you ever wreck your car in that 8 years?
I had to replace 3 fiberglass panels in my first year. But that was just I was new and you hit stuff. That's just the way it is.
All right, so you made the
So,
right call.
oh, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. No, I was, and turns out I'm a red guy. I don't like blue that much. I mean, I do like blue, but red has been I've stuck with red ever since. So, but yeah, we
That's my
built
kind of
that
guy right
car.
there.
Yeah, we built that car with that body because we had the body. So, and they that car came from some other another driver who just said it needed some bars replaced in it, got bent up pretty good. So we just took it and had spare parts and we kind of just put it together with whatever, and then we had the idea to do the Motorama build, and the guy that runs Motorama, I can't remember his name, but he's like, yeah, we got a spot for you, that'd be great, you guys come do that, that'd be fantastic. So it was a really cool deal to be a part of.
And you guys, was it who was crap? What was your who was supposed to actually come start the car on Sunday? I thought I heard someone was supposed to come start the car specifically for that.
Yeah, so we had I had a line on Constant Nunes. She was supposed to
Yes.
come do that on Sunday, but then obviously COVID stuff happened and the show
Yeah.
got canceled. Um, there was a couple other people there that were humming and helped us hang the body and stuff. So that was really cool. And it was just a cool thing to have all these, in my mind, celebrities really, because they've got way bigger following than I've ever been a part of. So to have them come out and be like, "Oh yeah, let's come help, let's turn a couple wrenches while they're at the show," I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh yeah. So let's dive into what these Ontario Pro Challenge cars are all about, because I'm gonna be honest, since I first started going to the track regularly when I was about 14-ish, um, the Ontario Pro Challenge have always caught my eye. The Ontario Pro Challenge and the Vintage Mods have been my two divisions that I've been like,
Yep.
those are my kind of cars. Um, I, like I said, we've talked to Tenley, we've talked to Jay. They've competed with you guys before.
Yeah.
What in the world is an Ontario Pro Challenge car? Please explain that to us.
So it started in Florida. Um, John Lissinger down there bought it from another guy. I don't know his name, who he bought it from. But he bought them and he started manufacturing them, and he decided to send them up to Canada with the Nicholsons. And Ken and Kathy Nicholson, they grew the sport with Dennis Thompson and stuff to 24 to 26 drivers in 2007, 2008. And they are a complete tube chassis, perimeter, I guess you could say, chassis. They've got a Toyota rear end, just like the Legend cars run. And they got a Kawasaki ZX11 bike motor in the front of them. So they're complete fiberglass body and everything. Everybody has the same. No one has anything different. The chassis are the same. The engines are the same. Drive shafts, rear end, same rear gear. Everyone's dash panel's the same. So that the only difference in who's winning and who's losing is setup on the car, luck, and driver. Um, that's what I like about it the most, because I know it's never I'm going into a race going, I know that guy's got more horsepower than me, because it's not true, because we all have the same engine.
Yeah.
Um, and it's all spec stuff, so you can't touch anything on the engines. If you pour them, anything, automatic DQ. We do upgrade the ignition system and the exhaust and the carburetors from the factory stuff. So they're already making more power than they would out of the bike. But other than that, we do not change anything. So that's why I like them, because they're just get in them and go have some
Yeah.
fun. So
And what tires are you running on those cars?
they are a Hoosier F60 or something like that. They only make them for our cars. They're a Hoosier tire that comes out that Ontario Pro Challenge has, or Pro Challenge has a deal with Hoosier in the States, and they run them specific. A couple of the road course guys run them as well, just because they're wide, sticky, and they last a long time. Um, but yeah, they're pure slick tire. Nothing fancy really.
They're like I said, they're a unique car. Um, and it's so cool because like they're a full tube chassis, just like a late model.
Yep.
But the once you get them rolling, you could tell like, oh, that's not like a a four cylinder or like a four banger in there. That's a bike motor.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
it's it's insane, and when you guys have these set up and hooked up right or going around the track, you guys are going, you guys are hauling mail pretty much. Like you guys are running pretty like incomparable. Like what lap times do you guys typically run in the series?
So average for me is a 16.4 to a 16.5 average. And with our cars, they do not slow down from the beginning of the race to the end. So like comparability wise, a super stock now their qualifying times are a tenth faster than our average race speed. So on a good day, if we were to go up against a super stock, we probably wouldn't be far off of their pace for a race. Um,
Sounds like a challenge is being thrown down here.
I don't have
Like
a super
I
stock anymore.
I've trying to push that for a while because everyone's like, oh, they're just the bike motor, they can't be that fast. And I'm like, I think they can hang with
how
most of the cars around,
how
really.
do we not get this at intermission 1 week? Get
I've
like
I've been pushing for it for a while,
get
but
like a mini stock. Like I get a mini stock at you, and if you beat the mini stock, the fastest mini stock, you get to go up against a super stock.
yeah.
I think that's a great intermission. 3 laps. I think 3 laps is more than enough from a dead start.
Ooh, Dead Star would be actually harder on the Pro Challenge because that bike clutch.
I
Yeah,
know.
that'd be I'd be slipping it pretty hard. I might have to put a
Okay,
clutch in it
okay.
just for
So do we
that.
have to give?
It's got to be from a roll. We don't do Dead Starts.
Okay,
Well,
Yeah.
fine. Rolling start.
Put the pace truck out there, it'll be
Put
fine.
the strike out.
Yeah. I'll start on the outside, it'll be fine.
yeah, just make sure the guy knows you're there.
Yeah.
That'd
Yeah.
be the
I
scariest part about all of it. What was that? Dum-dum.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
honestly, I think it's so cool. The cars like I said, that's a division that if I was to ever actually go racing, it's a toss up between the vintage modifieds and the pro challenge because they're such one. You guys, like I said, you guys are such a unique car. Um, and
Easy
you're
to
right.
haul.
It's easy to haul. This
Yeah, that's
everything
the
is
other thing I like
spec.
about them
Like,
too. They're 1,400 pounds without the driver in them. So
oh,
they don't
great.
have reverse, so that kind of sucks.
Yeah,
But I can push the car in and out of the shop and onto the trailer myself, really. So
I was gonna say I see that
that's
at
a
the track
huge
from you
help.
guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's because you're young and healthy. We're both fat. We ain't pushing.
Yeah.
that's no, that's awesome though. Um, so this year you guys have 9 races on tap for the series.
Yep.
6 at Flamborough, 2 at Sauble, 1 at Varney. Out of the 3 tracks you guys compete at, which is your favorite to go to and why?
Um, it's kind of tough. I don't really have a favorite. I like because each track brings something completely different. Flamborough is high speeds, big corners. You got to be able to drive the track properly. Sauble Beach is a little bit different because it's narrower with no banking. You got to really wheel your car there. And Varney is just, well, it's Varney. You're driving in a soup bowl basically. So and like we hardly even get the cars into peak RPM at Varney with our gearing. But it keeps it that good that way because if we end up going faster there, it might get a little sketchy because those walls come up and grab us pretty quick.
Yeah, I'd say
Um,
so.
yeah, but my first race at Varney was a 50 lapper, and we went green to checkered.
Oh, holy crap.
And my arms, by the end of it, I couldn't even get out of the car because my arms were just dead from holding onto the steering wheel and all the shaking. Um, but it's odd because every track has a different character to it, and a completely different vibe.
Oh
But
yeah.
I would say if we could go back to one track, I'd love to go back to Delaware because that was the most fun I've had. Like we're topping out fourth gear there, hitting the rev limiter, and that is like wildly fast in our cars.
Oh yeah.
So, and
What was
we
it?
run in third gear at every track. So, and we don't hit the rev limiter pretty much anywhere. But yeah, fourth gear topped out at Delaware was the coolest experience I've been a part of. So,
Feeney,
Yeah,
have you ever seen those guys there?
I used to like those cars at Peterborough because they'd go through the bumps and
yes,
it would just look evil. And
yeah,
I love an evil car.
I raced at Peterborough twice, and it was for me. I was new when I started when I raced there, so it was like I wasn't as fast as all the other guys going around. Um, but like the back straightaway, you're turning left at Peterborough the whole time, even though you're on the straightaway and stuff. Like it's a weird feeling, but super high momentum. And that was a really cool thing to learn for me was it's not like another track where you have to slow down to make the corner. There you can kind of roll it and keep the RPM up and not have to use the brakes as much. But yeah, I don't really have a favorite track because each one brings something completely different. So every week I'm like, got to lock in on this section of the track and stuff. So it's fun that way for me.
What is obviously the series has kind of shortened up their schedule in terms of touring to the different tracks.
Yeah.
But if there was a track that you guys could return to besides Delaware, because I know you said you'd love to go back to Delaware, um, what is a track that you would actually like to take these cars to and try out?
So the thing is though, we tried every track in Ontario,
Yeah,
a long time ago, just because they wanted to see who liked them and trying to get them out there. Grand Bend is too small. Um,
really, eh?
for the gearing, we would have to run in second gear, and that just tears axles and motors apart because the high RPM, and the quick accelerations. It's hard on parts. Um, and then a lot of the drivers don't like the fact that it's a guardrail as a wall because for fiberglass bodies and stuff, if you hit that, it rips it right off.
Yeah,
So a lot of guys didn't like that about Grand Bend. We've been to Sunset. A lot of guys like to go back there, just couldn't get anything done with the scheduling this year. Peterborough, a lot of guys would like to go back there, but same thing, just the way the scheduling worked out, we couldn't make any accommodations. So
yeah.
Imagine if we got Jacasa back. We got these things at Jacasa.
we thought about it when they redid it, seeing it just to go and test. But we did the math on it. We would run out of gear and we'd top the cars out and we'd be doing like 180 kilometers an hour. Um, and we wouldn't have to slow down. Like we'd tap the brake just to set the front wheels entering the corner and we wouldn't lift. And we don't, we kind of were looking at it and we did the math and ran the numbers and stuff. Our wheel bearings and our suspension parts wouldn't be able to hold up for a full race. They'd blow apart under the forces and stuff. So we thought about it, but just no one wants to risk writing off their car just to see if they can do a race there. That was a big
That's
thing.
valid.
Yeah.
That's valid. Obviously, you guys are you're a big hand behind the scenes of the Ontario Pro Challenge. Uh, what is it? Obviously, you've been running their social media page recently, and you've been
Yes.
really promoting the drivers, which is great because I the issue I have with a lot of series is they don't promote their drivers. They don't promote
Yeah.
you know, and it's good to see when series takes it upon themselves to promote their drivers. And I noticed that there's a couple new drivers who are entering the series this year,
Yeah.
which very happy about because
Yes.
you want to see growth because you guys have been averaging about 12 to 13, 14 cars each week.
Yeah.
Fantastic numbers, but of course you always want to see those numbers grow.
100%.
What is it looking like for you guys for car count this year?
So we got 2 to 3 new drivers. We're still waiting on one, just kind of bouncing some ideas around with another guy. But we should have 15 to 16. If everyone shows up, we'll have 16, 15 cars every week
Hell yeah.
if everyone's at the mall. So which is we haven't had 15 cars since I think 2014 or 2015.
Delaware.
Um, yeah,
Because you guys had a lot of cars in 2015 at Delaware. The only reason
yeah,
I know that is because you guys were an undercard to the
the
APC race, and I
the
was
ABC
there.
race, yes, because we had DJ Kennington who was
Yes, you
running with us
did.
that day. Yeah.
Okay,
Um,
I have a question because
yeah.
I remember seeing something happen, and I have to know. The 33 car is the car that
Yes.
DJ ran that night.
So the 33 car
If I
originally
remember.
was the 66.
Okay.
And then he bought both of those cars. So he bought Josh Nicholson's car and then he bought their 96 car. So he
Okay.
had two. So Taylor Weber now has the original 33 car, and
Okay.
then Brian Stavanis currently has the car that DJ Kennington broke.
Okay. Because it were they always Dodge bodies though, or Dodge
Those
nose
were
cones?
those were
Okay.
Dodges, yeah, always Dodges, yeah.
Okay.
There's only two Dodges in the series left.
Yeah. Because I remember seeing an orange bumper being brought in from turn two the one night,
Hmm.
and I was like, and because I didn't know that it was already a Dodge car,
Hmm.
and I'm like, oh my god, because I heard something about DJ Kennington running the 33 car. I'm like, okay, the 33's orange car, they're bringing an orange Dodge car. I'm like, oh, they're just making a Dodge because of DJ, and then I just thought they just left it, but
No, it was a
I didn't
Dodge
know it
the
was already
whole
a Dodge
time.
car. So I'm glad.
Yeah,
Okay, that clears my air.
yeah.
That clears the air on that, thinking that they changed it to a Dodge body that night because of DJ.
No, that would be pretty funny though. No, they
That
didn't do that.
that's what I thought. Okay, that's just
Yeah.
you have to see
Look
it
at when
from
the
a
truck series showed up in Mosport. How many cars lost their badging because they were driving Dodges in the States?
Yeah.
um honestly, it's so cool to be able to talk to you guys from the series because I always say the series is unique. It's phenomenal, provides really great racing. Who was a driver this year that you guys are looking at and be like, they're gonna have a breakout year. They're gonna improve on where they were last year, or who's even gonna break through for their first feature win this year?
So there's two guys that I got my eye on that I'm helping every week. So Mike O'Connell in the 51 car. Uh, he's been lights out for a while now, and he's been really good. And then he just makes like one or two little mistakes, and then guys get around him.
Yeah.
Um, so like once he's gonna tidy that stuff up this year, and he's gonna be really hard to beat. As well as Ethan Fleet in the 42 car. Um, he's my best friend. I got him into the series and stuff. He kind of hates me for doing that because he's had a little bit of a rough start, but he's gonna have a really good year this year. He recently just moved out to Alberta, and
Holy.
he's working out in Fort Mac, and he's gonna be flying back for our races every week. And he's going to be racing with us still living out in Alberta. So that was, and but so I'm looking after his car for him while it's
Yeah.
gone. But he's gonna be one to watch out for this year for sure.
Now is he coming in like the day of, and then like someone's got to pick him up and bring him to the track?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna be the one picking him up from the airport at like 6 in the morning on Saturday morning.
I
Or
will bring
something
my
Holy.
like that.
suit as a backup driver.
Yeah,
I've always
for
wanted to
sure.
drive one.
Yeah. So
Now,
it's but yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna be flying in Friday night and then leaving Sunday morning. So he's gonna be in and out
holy
so he can make it
crap.
back to work. Yeah.
You know, hey, good on him for still wanting to support the series even though he's out in Fort Mac.
100%. Yeah,
I,
he loves it. So I can't. He's like, yeah, I can't not do it. He's like, I got all the sponsors and everybody came back for him this year and everything. So he's like, I can't take the year off or more because I have the support. So I'm gonna make it work.
and
And
and that's good though.
yeah, and it's fantastic for us because we had another car on the track, but it's also good because it shows how much effort actually goes into something like this. Because he cares a lot about it, right?
Oh yeah.
So do a lot of people. So to see that get it recognized and stuff is pretty cool as well.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Um, for you guys though, as a team, what are you guys expecting throughout the year? Like what are your goals this year to as a team?
I'd like to win a couple more races for sure. Last year I wrecked my car testing at the end of 2023. Um, Actually the weekend after JR had his throttle stuck at Autumn Colors, I did the same thing, but I lost my brakes. So
Oh shit.
I did the same thing he did on a Tuesday night. So I had to kind of get unscared. So 2024 wasn't necessarily the best year for me just because I had no confidence and I was worried about wrecking my stuff again.
Yeah.
Um, but I got it all. I started getting it figured out closer to the end of the year and trying to get my car back to handling the same way I did before after I kind of cranked it off the fence. Was a little bit of a challenge as well. But I think I got it back this year, and we're going to be running at the front for a lot of it. I know Emma, my sister, she's looking for more wins as well. Um, she only had one last year, but and had some tough luck, but she'll be back at it hard again. And my dad, I don't know what his plans are because he just seems to be at the checkered flag a lot. So,
He
but yeah,
knows how to get there.
I, I don't know how he does it, but um, it's impressive to watch, especially from in a driver's seat. It's cool to watch seeing him slice through the field and everything on the track, like from the grandstands, but being beside him, and it's like, how did you make that work? Is
Yeah.
like I've been digging on this guy for 4 laps now, and you passed him in a lap, and you passed him in a corner, like
Yeah.
so stuff like that gets on my nerves a little bit,
That's
but it's
experience, though.
yeah, he's been racing for started racing stuff in 1988, dirt bikes, snowmobiles, RC cars, mini sprints, like the list is
Anything with a
humongous
motor.
for it 100%. When he broke his leg, he was racing RC cars because he couldn't get in the car. So it was just like everything. So the experience that he has from being a pro motocross racer and everything and a snowcross racer just is crazy because he can just see things happen and find the right groove and person's going to push up and miss this corner and I'm going to grab him on the exit and stuff like that that he can see 2 laps ahead of everybody else is just it's hard to get a like compete with because he just there's so much knowledge there. But I'm getting closer. But I'm still learning, obviously. I've only been doing it for like 7 years, so it's not like
Yeah.
I'm not a star by any means. So
I was gonna say I could tell as a photographer last year when I got to shoot at Flamborough, watching him set up passes as he's doing another one was hilarious.
oh
Because
it's
I'm sitting there watching, I'm like, oh, he's going high low on this. And I'm talking like with Dave Franks and all that stuff. And he
yeah.
goes, how do you know this? I'm like, because that's the same thing I do, and he's going high low. I'm like,
Hmm.
that guy's got experience. So like, you don't know who's in what car. I'm like, I have no clue in here. I'm like, because it was like a last second thing for me to jump down there and do photos that day.
Yep.
And then it was just like, I don't even know what's on the card. We're just gonna take the cameras and see what happens.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's wild because he can just I remember at Peterborough, when I was first started and we were there the cars I was in third, he was behind me, and the 2 cars in front of me were side by side for like 10 laps. And all of a sudden, all I hear is an engine on the outside of me. And I'm like, oh, he's there. So I let him, I was still learning. So I'm like, yeah, I let him go, have the spot. And I watched him pass both of those cars side by side at Peterborough in one corner, passed them both. Started like way high, cut through the middle, and burned them on the exit. I was like, um, okay. Like, how do you just pull that out of the hat? Like, I was shocked. So, and then I had to battle with them still because he was just disappeared after that. So it's the stuff that he sees in the vision is just it's hard to come by. So
All I could think is when you said that was the like the memes and all that stuff. You see, like, wait for me, I got little legs.
yeah, it's a hundred
As he
hundred
like pokes
percent
the hole and then
exactly
just
what it
runs
is.
away.
Yeah, 100%.
Wait for me.
Jesus Christ.
But
Yeah,
it's kind of cool. Like, it's a cool moment to get to race with your dad and race with your sister. Like,
Yeah.
It's one of those family moments you don't always get to have, and
Yeah, for us, like 3 years ago when my grandfather passed away, the day of one of our races, like the Saturday morning, and we're all like, we're not racing, we're not like we are not in the mental capacity to do this. And my dad's like, I don't think I'm gonna make it out. And I'm like, you know what? Let's just go see how we go through practice and just go with it from there. Um, anyways, turn my sister ended up winning her first race that day with my dad behind me. So it went Emma, myself, my dad, 1, 2, 3 for the first race. And that was one of the coolest experiences I've ever had to see. My sister led every lap, and me and my dad came from the back and couldn't catch her. So for that, all that circumstances and stuff to happen all on that day, it was just you can't write it. It was just like there's no way that happened. So it's a really cool experience to race with my family, but at the same time, there's dinners at the kitchen table that we're at each other's throats the entire time. So it has its ups and downs, but it's a lot of fun. So
And why
yeah,
wouldn't it be
there's
that
good
way?
weeks and there's bad weeks.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Um, we're going to take a couple of minutes here and we want to jump into our Tailor to You meeting design fan question period. As you saw earlier today on Facebook and Instagram,
Yep.
we announced that you're going to be joining us. We got ourselves a few questions for you. Are you ready to answer them?
I'll try my best.
All right. First up, we're going to take it to Instagram where Mr. Kevin Small,
Oh
the
yeah,
announcer of Flamborough Speedway,
yep.
has a question for you. Once I get it up here, he goes, "What is your favorite hobby away from the racetrack, and why is it crank lighting ball hockey?"
Uh, I I play a lot of hockey. So my winter and fall sports is hockey. I currently play for a couple of senior A teams. Um, and yeah, so the hockey is one of my biggest hobbies. And Crank Lightning is the ball hockey team that me and Kevin Smalls play on together. So I play hockey with a little church league group on Thursday nights with Kevin. I play ball hockey with Kevin. I work at the racetrack with Kevin. He's the announcer. So we're pretty good friends. So but yeah, definitely ball hockey and hockey. Those are my two main hobbies other than racing, for sure.
Imagine being that close to a guy and hating his guts. Like he seems like he's in every aspect of your life there.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, he's a really nice guy. The best announcer I think Glenmore Speedway's had in a long time.
You can say that
So
again.
So, and he does a lot for the track, and he's just an overall nice guy. Like every time you go up and talk to him, he's always got a smile on his face. So, like it's a personality you want at the racetrack, especially as an announcer and the role that he plays for Flamborough. You can't ask for anybody better.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Brandon, do you have the Facebook questions up or no?
I do. That's
Okay.
how I dropped my phone earlier. So Wade Thorne asks, why haven't you come run one of his dirt cars even though you've been offered?
Oh, that's a good question. Because I was with him all day, so he told me I got a great question for you. Um, but no, I wanted to race dirt a couple of times, but just like I want it to be, I don't want to get in someone else's car and make a mistake and write something off. And the other thing is too, I have respect for all the other drivers that are out there full time and doing all their stuff. So I don't want to go out and cause trouble um for any of those guys. Like if I'm gonna go and race dirt, I'm gonna go and race dirt with my own car, my own money tied up, and give it my best. I'm not gonna try and go out and run one night and just see where it goes, kind of thing. Um, but I might consider it in the future, but right now that's where I kind of stand with that. Just not gonna do it if it ain't mine, if that makes any sense.
I mean, that's understandable. Like,
Yeah.
I feel that because Jacqueline and I have had this conversation before about like, I've run a bone stock before, and she's like, And we even had this conversation just before I found out that I was going to go run a bone stock. And I was telling her, I'm like, I'd hate to get into someone else's car
Yeah.
because I'd rather be if I wreck it, then I know it's my responsibility. I don't want to put that on someone else if it gets wrecked.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, if it's your own car, you can work on it at your own
Yep,
pace, do whatever you want to it. If it's somebody else's, you have to put it back the way it was before or better.
exactly.
So I just don't feel that if I were to wreck it or do whatever that I mean I can fix it. It's just like, but I wrecked your car, so it's not a
Yeah,
it's not a good look. You know what I mean?
no. We're gonna move on to the next question here from Tenley Pepin. She goes on the comments here and says, got some funny ones for my bestie.
Oh,
Feeny, you and I are gonna go back and forth one for one, okay?
All right.
Okay, so the first one, she's got four, she gave us four questions.
four. Wow. Okay.
Four questions. First one, if you had to race wearing a costume, what would it be and why?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think for me, I think it'd be funny, like the green men or the blue men that sit beside the penalty boxes at a hockey game or whatever. I
Oh,
think one of those would be absolutely
that
hilarious to get out of the car and just be in a full green suit or a blue suit. I think that'd be pretty funny.
would be
Um,
good, yeah.
that I think that would probably be me for sure.
All right. So question number two, you get to add one completely useless button to your car's dash. What does it do?
Horn.
Horn.
Put a big old train horn in there. That's what I want to put in there, just to piss people off and get the crowd going.
Warm up
Nothing
lap,
like
he comes up.
exactly double file and just absolutely cranking the train horn. I think that would be a lot of fun.
John knows why I'm laughing.
Yep. Uh, number three, if your race suit had a built-in snack pocket, what are you stashing?
Oh, I am known for having pocket candy of any kind. Um, so probably like Skittles or something like that. Just a little hard candy or something that I just have at all times normally. Mike and Ike's is another one. Those are my one of my biggest weaknesses. So for sure, probably Mike and Ike's.
All right, last one here. What is your go-to hype song before a race?
It changes on the day to day sometimes. That's tough, but probably one by Metallica or Hell's Bells for sure. Those two don't really matter. Pulling in the racetrack, that's pretty much what I got going on.
You know, that's valid. Those are good songs.
Yeah, just
And
getting
then,
absolutely cranked.
well, that's what you need to do.
Yeah.
It
And
depends on
then
the situation, though.
hmm
Like if you have a
Um,
long race, you gotta have like something calming and like you gotta be like passive aggressive. You can't wreck the car. If you have a 20 lap race, you put on the heaviest stuff you know.
yeah.
no, because I
I
want to
don't know.
be like I want to be in the groove. Like
I don't
you
re
want to
I
be in a
don't
mindset.
Yeah, I don't do much thinking when I'm in the car. It's mainly before trying to get the nerves out and like trying to get the anxiety of, hey, it's race time. Try to get
Yeah.
that stuff out. So it's like you put that in and it just kind of fades everything else out. And then once you're in the car, it's just you're locked in, ready to go. So,
Okay.
but
First of all, when y'all start sitting in the lineup, are you guys really ever actually thinking about anything?
Napping if I can.
I when I have a spotter or I run the receiver, I turn it up as loud as I possibly can on my radio, and then I have a nap in my car. So like when all the like sometimes kids or whatever will run up beside my car and try to reach in and give me a fist bump, I have no idea what's going on because I'm asleep, like closed eyes, having a nap, relaxing, not even paying attention. And then when I hear checkered flag, drivers pulled in, these cars going to tech, wake up, fire the car up, and here we go. So,
See, that is why I knock on every car
mhm.
before I give them a fist bump. I will walk up, all you hear is, and I give them a quick little fist bump.
Yeah,
Because I
Yeah,
know y'all are just laying there like this, just
I'm sitting in there strapped in, half usually asleep.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't. I don't think I could do that.
Dude, you
I
get the
mean,
race seat that's built for you. It's so comfortable.
Okay,
oh,
maybe
It
that's
I've
is
why. That's
better than
why.
sleeping in a bed.
I've fallen asleep and sat in my car for like 6 hours before and woken up. My feet are numb, my hands are numb because they're sitting on the steering wheel, and I'm like, oh, everything else is
Was that
comfortable.
scaling day?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, yeah, that was. Yeah. But like, and the setting up caster and camber, I was asleep in my car doing caster and camber, and my dad was like, "Yeah, turn the wheel 20 degrees to the left." I was fully asleep, and I was still turning the wheel. Like, I don't remember anything. And he's like, "I don't know what you were doing, but you were snoring and turning the wheel at the same time." So, I
Hey,
mean,
as long as
it
you're doing what
worked.
he asked.
I was doing it, so it didn't matter. So,
That is awesome. Before we continue on, that is the end of our Tailor to You Meeting Design fan question period. Of course, make sure you guys tune in every Sunday at noon to see who will be the next guest, or I guess the next victim on the True North Racing podcast. And of course, we got to thank Mike for taking the time to answer those questions because actually those were some really good ones tonight.
mhm.
And and Tenley did add at the end here. She goes, "Love you, brother. Proud of you." So, um, Tenley competes with you in the series. She drives the 54.
Yep.
Like I said, I know the Pepins very well. Jay, Maddox, Tenley. What's it like racing against them when on at the track?
Well, they're absolutely a great group to be around. Like me and Tenley, Ethan, and my sister, we go bowling and hang out, pool parties and stuff all the time. Like, so it's a little different demographic because we're all best friends racing against each other, having a great time. So it's kind of hard to like we're competitive. At the racetrack, it's a little bit different because it's like, hey, we're racing against each other, so it's not like, hey, we're going bowling tomorrow night or something like. It's not like that. But like every once in a while, when we got an off day, we'll go to Jacasa as a group and stuff like, or at Osh Weekend, sorry, go as a group, and it's an absolute blast. It's one of the other reasons why I like our series so much is because it's everyone likes each other. So you're not getting out of the car going, I'm gonna go kill that guy or I'm gonna wreck that guy's stuff. I mean, every once in a while you get your everything gets a little heated because that happens in racing. Like it's
Absolutely.
very common. But most of the time we get out of the car and oh my God, it was oh my gosh, you did great, or oh my gosh, you came second, or that was such a good battle, or like me and Ethan, Varney, I was catching him and he was like leading the race for like 20 of the 25 laps. And I was catching him and then the caution come out. And I'm like, sorry, bud. I think your time's done. And I ended up passing him. We battled for 4 laps side by side, and I got him at the line by like half a car
Oh,
at Varney on the outside. So it was like a huge experience. Like it was so much fun, and he was so mad because he's like, I thought I had you, and it was he'd be faster in one corner, and I could carry the momentum in the next corner. So it was a really tight battle. Um, and yeah, Tenley's going to be going a lot is going to get going a lot better this year. So I look forward to doing some racing and stuff with her as well, battling hard. So it's a great group to be a part of.
that's what it always looks like. It's nice that you guys travel just a little bit, just enough to be like, hey, we are a traveling series. We do go
Yeah,
compete at a couple of the tracks, but you guys are still very home track to Flamborough, which is still great.
yeah,
Because again, I really enjoy watching your guys' cars at Flamborough. Even at Sawell. Sawell's been one of my favorite tracks for your guys' cars because I think it really adds to the drivability of those cars for you. Because
yeah.
Flamborough, you're right. It's kind of more of like a sweeping corner for you guys. Like not sweeping, but like, it's a larger turn,
It's a longer
larger
corner.
corner
Yeah.
than Sauble is. It's very tight. It's kind of like a Martinsville.
Yes.
Um, it's really tight and it's a driver's track, I find.
Yes.
And the series, the cars, I think perform very well at that track. So, going out to Sauble, I know it's a long drive for you guys, but like I think
Yeah.
it's always worth it for y'all to travel up there.
It was it's I like it there. I mean, we go down early and we
Yep.
go hang out on the beach for an hour or two and then we come back to the races and whatever. But yeah, I like going up. And everyone's like, "Oh, it's a long drive." I'm like, "Oh well."
You,
I don't mind the traveling for the racing because in the end it's like we're real racers. You look at
yep.
some of the series down in the States, guys are driving all over the country racing
Yep.
cars. So for us to say, hey, we're going to do a 3 hour trip up to Sauble Beach for a day, it's not really that bad.
And the
And
fact
I
is,
mean,
too, you guys can make a weekend out of it if you wanted to.
100%. If you got a buddy with a
Go up
cottage up there,
Friday.
you
Yeah.
go up and do whatever on the Friday night or the Sunday night or the whole weekend,
Y-
like Friday to
Yeah.
Monday or whatever it can be. Yeah, exactly.
Like last year, me and Jacqueline, we would go up. Two times we went up. The one day we went up the day of the race. We camped out at the campground. The other time we stayed at Sawa Falls Tent Trailer Park, and
Yeah.
we went up a day before, and then or 2 days before, I guess maybe, and then had a couple days up at the beach, so that way we can really enjoy ourselves. We
Hmm.
yeah, we're not. I'm not bringing a car up, but it's
Yeah.
still nonetheless. We were going up there to go do some work at the track, and you make a weekend out of it. You don't just make
Yeah.
a night out of it or a day out of it and think about it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? At Saba, you can camp out at the track.
Yes.
Then go to
Yeah.
the beach the next morning, hang out at the beach for a couple
Exactly.
hours before going home.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want to walk along the beach at 8 o'clock in the morning before heading out?
I know. I think it. I've always wanted to do that. We've never been able to because we've always been doing something sports wise or something the next
Yeah.
day. So it's always been, yeah, we got to go home and go back to doing other stuff. Um, but yeah, I've always wanted to try that. Like just camp out in the truck and trailer and just have a good time.
Okay, so now that begs the question, because I know it's gonna be a late night. I got a late night coming up at the end of June here, because I got to go up on the Sunday and then come back that same night.
Yeah.
And I want to know, what is your go-to snack to help you stay awake while driving home?
I got Gatorade and Reese's peanut butter cups. Those
That's
I
such
grabbed.
an interesting combo.
It's weird, but that's what I snack on. So I'll grab two Gatorades on the way up and two Reese's peanut butter cups. So I go one pack on the way up, one
What
Gatorade on the way
flavor
up,
Gatorade?
and what's that? What
What
flavor?
flavor Gatorade?
Blue or green, depending
Why you gotta
on
get the
which one.
weird ones?
Yeah, no, I'm a green
Because
apple
they're
and
always
then
available.
yeah, the green apple and then the blue one. I don't know what it's called, but yeah,
I don't think
those
anyone
two.
knows what it's called.
I don't know what it's called. Is it? It's not no, because
Blue.
Frost is a Frost. Yeah, it's called blue. Yeah, that's what it is. But but yeah, those two are that's what that's like I don't drink energy drinks or anything like that. So that's what keeps me going pretty much.
So it's literally called Cool Blue, and it's a blue raspberry flavor.
Ah, there you go.
So there we go.
Yeah, it's blue. Fair enough.
Okay, Feeny,
Learning
what
all the
about
hard
you?
details here.
Yeah.
Feeny,
Like
what about you,
Sobble?
man? What's
Sobble,
your
So what I did last year on the way home was I grabbed a rotisserie chicken from IGA. It was just snacking on chicken all the way home.
That's not a bad idea, actually.
That's not a bad idea either.
They got a $9 chicken that's hot and ready. You just grab a fork and you pick at the chicken all the way home, and you fucking eat. Sorry, you freaking eat all the way home.
Yeah, like why not? Grab a turkey
I,
or grab a leg and just start munching, right? Like that's
yeah.
perfect. Yeah.
Oh, you guys are gonna hate mine. Actually, Feeny might agree with half of it, I think. I usually so coming back from Delaware, because we used to drive to Delaware on Fridays, and I live in Erin, which is it's about a 2 hour ish drive
Lucky.
from our house to Delaware. I know, zip it. Um, and on the way out, I usually pick up a box of top Pop Tarts from the TA in Woodstock, and so that I got started getting called Pop Tart Man with the team. And then afterwards, on our way home, I would pick up a 710 of Dr. Pepper, and I would grab a bag of sour cherry blasters.
Hmm. That's an interesting combo right there.
I made my own Dr. Pepper cherry right then.
Yeah, that's yeah, making
Wait,
your
wait.
a little bit of sour too.
Yeah.
What kind of Pop Tarts?
Double chocolate or s'mores.
S'mores were the good ones.
Those are the only
Yeah.
two that you like. All the other ones, no. It's what is it? I was in the States in December, and they actually had um a pack of 48 Pop Tarts, and it was half s'mores, half double chocolate. My
John's like,
instant.
you're coming home with me.
That's
Yeah,
exactly it. I
that's
was
going
like,
on with me.
I
Anything to
literally
clear at the
picked it
border?
up.
Nope. Just some Pop-Tarts.
I looked at Jacqueline, and I was like, I'm like, this is coming home with us. I do not care. To be fair, we also came home with
Did it make it
a.
home?
Yeah, they made it home because they were in the very back of the van. But we also brought home a what is it called? Blackstone, because they had one on sale down there, and it was a perfect deal
Oh,
for us. So
I don't know what that
could
is.
it's a
The
big
griddle.
griddle.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a more like I guess industrial size griddle, and it's all the rage right now apparently. And we picked
You
up
need to
one
get a
for.
smoker again.
I need to get a new smoker. There was one at Walmart for like $400, but I got to save up for a new machine at my house to help me sleep. So,
No, help
that,
you not die while you sleep.
well, yeah, it's gonna help me not die while I sleep. Yeah,
Hey,
I got sleep apnea now, so I gotta have the CPAP machine when I sleep. And at the end of the month, I gotta go buy my actual machine. So that's not fun, but hey, it's gonna help me stay awake, stay alive,
Yeah.
and keep attending races.
could you imagine John sleeping in the car with the CPAP machine on?
Jeez. No,
Think
because I
about the
would.
oxygen you get.
Oh my God. This has just gone off the rails again.
Usually
Um,
does.
yeah, you're correct. Usually does. Uh, Mike, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on, buddy. But before we let you go, we have to let you thank your sponsors, your family, friends, anyone and everyone who's helped you along the way in your racing career. We want to hear about that. We don't care if it's a sponsor that you had, that your father had when you were very young. We don't care if it's a family that has four generations past that you've never met, don't even know, but you're apparently named after. You can have a family pet that you may have in the future, you can thank, but you have a couple minutes to thank everyone and everyone. So the floor is yours.
Well, I got to start off to thank my sponsors for sure. Dundas Tirecraft, they've been a huge help for us, for me. Um, they've done lots of they've helped me and my family out a bunch with automotive stuff. So supporting them has been super good relationship there. Micropro Sienna, Timber Specialties and stuff. They've helped my dad and me and my sister out a bunch as well. Flammer Machine Shop, they're big. They do a lot of stuff for our stuff. They help us out with a whole bunch of little projects and stuff. So that's a big deal for us as well. Um, Coverdale Excavations, they're family friends of my dad's and super great family. They help us out every year. Mike Norheat, my uncle's company, huge supporter of the racing. He sponsors the track as well. They also do a Norheat night where all of his employees and stuff come out and some friends and family and they come and watch us race. So really big deal for them. That's a really big sponsor that I can't thank enough. They help and support me a bunch. Um, there's probably more, but I can't really remember. Weston Forest, they're a series sponsor. They help us out every year with registration. They cover our insurance fees and stuff like that for all the drivers. So that helps us out a bunch. Premium Plus Tools as well. They do a lot of our tool repairs and stuff when we break some impact guns and stuff like that. They help us out with that stuff. So I gotta thank my family, my mom, my dad, my sister. My mom mainly because she puts up with all three of us doing all the race stuff. So big thank you to them. My grandparents coming out every weekend and supporting us. My friends and family, of course. Um, all my buddies come out every once in a while and have a great time at the racetrack and chirp me when I suck. So all those guys help make it a lot of fun too. So pretty much it. Yeah, everyone that helps me out and just everybody that sends me a text message, hey, great job at the race or whatever, just always makes me feel good. So everybody that's been a part of it's been big help for me.
All right, man. Well, that sounds good. Where can fans and people of the show follow along with your racing career, the Ontario Pro Challenge, or the Ontario Pro Challenge, where they can find you guys on social media.
Yeah, so Ontario Pro Challenge on Instagram, and then the Ontario Pro Challenge series on Facebook. I run both of those pages now, and I've been trying to work a little bit with the drivers and the owners and stuff to get a little bit more stuff going through for them to post that stuff. I've been slacking a little bit recently, but I'm gonna be starting up again now that it's getting ready for practice and stuff. So, and then my Instagram, Mike Norris 17 on Instagram and stuff. Um, Pretty much open. Everybody any needs to chat about or questions, I can pretty much answer anything about the cars or whatever racing. So, or how to get involved, anything. I can find a way. So, yeah, pretty much that. Just Instagram and Facebook's there.
Sounds good, man. Well, we're
Yeah,
not going to take up too much more of your Sunday night. Thank you for taking the time to chat with us. It's been an absolute pleasure. We hope you have a great 2025 season. Excited to see the growth of the Ontario Pro Challenge, and hopefully, I'm not. Hopefully, I will be seeing you at the racetrack this
yeah,
summer. So we'll see you soon. Okay, man.
yep. Sounds good, guys. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, and we're back from our conversation with Mike Norris from the Ontario Pro Challenge. It's always fun getting to chat with drivers like that because it's a series we don't get really to talk about much, unless like we're talking to Tenley or, um, something happened in the series that's worth mentioning. And it's always nice to be able to chat to drivers like that of series that don't really get a whole lot of, I guess quote unquote airtime. I guess, um, you said it throughout the show that that's a series that you've always wanted to run. That's on your bucket list. What makes you want to drive those cars?
Well, I really love the legend cars. So
Yeah,
those remind me of like a full-bodied legend car
yeah.
with a little more power. So it just comes down to I like driving different things and I like cars that are hard to drive. And those look like both of those things.
And you're not wrong. Like they look like a handful, and they're just phenomenal to watch race. Like, you got Tim Norris, you got Mike Norris, you got Emma Norris. You got who else? Jordan Ramsbottom, he's pretty quick. Um, Ethan Fleet, pretty quick guy. Just bad luck last year. Hopefully that turns around for him this year. Um, but honestly, like those look like such fun cars, and it'd be cool to see them back at Delaware because to me, like that's their Daytona. Because
Well,
it's
that's why I thought you Casa, but I'm like, I guess if they can't handle it, they can't handle it. But
yeah, right. And I kind of wish they did a little bit more traveling to like Peterborough and Grand Bend, but it's unfortunate, but it's the way it is. And the Sunset, I think those cars look great at Sunset too. And like they remind me, like the body style, especially now, remind me so much of like the NASCAR Canada Series cars. And
yeah.
I love the series. The only thing I hate because it's just I know the bill on it's huge is the fiberglass bodies. I
So
can only imagine.
you want to know a weird thing I just thought of for one day at the track?
Oh boy, what is that?
Four class card. Junior Lates to start the show.
Okay.
Ontario Pro Challenge second.
Okay.
OSS third. NASCAR Canada Series to close the show. You literally have all similar bodied cars, but size different.
Yeah. Except for the OSS guys. They would just be underpowered.
Yeah. But it would be a good warm up to the NASCAR Canada Series.
I agree. 10 lap for the junior lates, 25 laps for 20 laps for the pro challenge. I would just do a 50 lap for the OSS just as a teaser. And then you get a 300 lap Canada Series race.
That
I
would be a
think
good
that's
card.
okay. Hold on. On the topic of junior late models being involved in this conversation, have you seen the TikTok video about some dude buying a built or a junior late model for $800 roller? Did you
I don't
see it
know
or
about
no?
that. No, I haven't seen it.
Okay, this dude is starting a journey on TikTok, and he somehow came across a junior late model or a mini cup car, depending on where you're listening from. and he is currently he's gonna redo the motor because he thinks the motor is blown on it. But it says apparently when they bought it, it was a blown clutch or something like that. He got a bunch of spare parts, bunch of rims and tires, and the dude picked it up for $800. I'm like, that car right here in Canada would sell for $3,500.
A lot more than that.
You think a roller with a blown motor would be 35 over $3,500
Brand new car turnkey is 20 grand.
for a junior late?
Yep. Put
Holy,
that in perspective, a Bandolero brand new is 10 grand. Nobody realized how expensive those cars are.
what? How did they get so expensive? Because they're supposed to be just a beginner class for kids.
How did bone stocks get so expensive?
That's because people push for more.
Yeah. Same thing. Fiberglass bodies, freaking sealed engines.
Yeah,
It just comes down to a brand new car, I think was 20 grand when I was talking to people. So you get used
that's
ones, but that's where the Bandoleros kind of come in too, right? Like
yeah.
Jeff Jeremy was selling them for $9,999 out the door. But the reason I don't dislike the junior lights, I just like the Bandoleros more
Yeah,
because I think it gives the opportunity to if you want a kid to invest in racing that wants to maybe try to make it to ARCA or something like that. They can race our series in Canada through the summer, and then they can go down to the States in the winter and race.
yeah.
So it gives us a chance to get exposure, but they still can run up here during our season.
Man, I didn't think they were that expensive. I'm going to be honest with you. Um, damn. Um, you know what? I know you're not feeling well. We need to get out of here. Or I guess you're gonna go put a carburetor on the modified.
Yeah, carburetor on the modified, and then think about how long Quebec's going to be next weekend.
Are you going out to Quebec next, like over the weekend?
I am leaving Saturday morning as early as I wake up, go to practice, hopefully drive back that night, and hopefully I don't find a ditch.
Jesus. Well, you better get a whole chicken to, to eat on the way home then.
Well, the problem is I don't speak French, so I'm gonna have to get one of them to order me a chicken.
Uh, just go to find a nearest Walmart and just grab a chicken and go out.
Well, my biggest concern is like my Tim Hortons order. I might have to like take one of them with me, like, hey, this is what I want. Order this for me, please.
Get the translator app on your phone and then just say it in English and get it to translate to French and then just hold it up.
Yeah, because I look that smart. I'd rather just kidnap the
It's
guy.
possible.
Yeah, I'd rather just kidnap the guy. I'm like, hey, you're coming with me to Tim Hortons. Why? Because you
Yeah.
need to order from me.
All right, man. Well, this does it for episode 168 of the True North Racing Podcast presented by Drive with Haley. Of course, we got to thank Driving with Haley for being the presenting sponsor. We got to thank Pets Pro Painting, Jay Pepin for being the presenting sponsor of our opening segment, Darren Dryden, and DJ Gear, DJ Graphics. If you guys are looking for either a brand new fire suit,
With
shoes,
snack pocket.
gloves, with maybe talk to him, see if you can get a snack pocket.
No, he has one. I
Does
just
he
found
have
this out.
one?
So DJG has put a radio pocket in the inside, like breast pocket, but really it's just snacks.
Okay, so it could be either or.
Yeah.
Um, but jeez, you got me off my goddamn script. Uh, if you guys are looking for shoes, gloves, fire suits, even wraps for his DGD graphics, does them all. Our amazing cornhole boards that we got that we're going to be raffling off in June. He designed, he installed the wrap, he printed the wrap, he installed it for us. They look phenomenal. We tested them out at Motorama for a little bit. They work great. You guys could have a chance to take home those at the end of June. And if someone from the Sawville region wins them, well, guess what? We'll drive them up on the Sunday and meet us at Sawville Speedway to pick them up. But we got to thank everyone who supports the show. You know, they're the ones who help keep the lights on for the podcast for the year. We thank you guys so much for tuning in, listening. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, joemedia.ca. More updates are coming to the website this week. I've been working on schedules, been working on some secret behind the scene videos. We're working on uh, some footage because in 3 weeks we go racing. in less than 3 weeks now, we go racing. And I'll be at Sunset Speedway on May 3rd. So, yeah, May 3rd is in 3 weeks, man.
Guess I got to buy some parts.
Yes, you do. Let's get out of here, though, man. For Brandon Feeney, I'm John Morrison. We'll see you guys next week on the True North Racing Podcast. See you guys.
Thanks for tuning in to the True North Racing Podcast. Be sure to follow us on social media for more racing content and updates. You can find Jomo Media and Promotions on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and at jomomedia.ca. Until next time, keep your engines running and your belts tight.